Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Produce Buzzers podcast. We are so happy you have joined us today, and I think you will be too after the show is over, because you will learn a lot about fresh fruits and vegetables, how to select and store them, how to prepare and cook them, and surprising facts about their history and origin. We hope it inspires you to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, not only for your health, but also for your delight and pleasure as you explore their amazing world of taste and delicious flavors. Eating more of them will transform your life in so many positive ways. So settle back, relax, and get ready for another delicious adventure with the Produce Buzzers. Greetings and welcome to another delicious episode of the Produce Buzzers podcast. I'm Edwin Stepp, your host and executive editor of ProduceBuzz.com. I'm joined once again by Teresa Nolan, the founder and president of Produce Buzz, along with Rick Stepp and Cynthia Benedetto, both contributing editors to Produce Buzz. Now, Produce Buzzers podcast fans, on today's show, we have a really interesting story about some people who are using the land to create some of the most creative products and helpful products you can imagine. Today, we're joined by Kevin and Alicia Stump, the passionate husband and wife duo behind Stump Farms, a family-owned urban and hydroponic farm nestled in the mountains of western North Carolina. Originally starting in 2017, not in North Carolina, but in Texas, with a dream of access to clean local food, Kevin and Alicia have built something extraordinary, turning that dream into a full-spectrum farm offering everything from microgreens, mushrooms, and produce to herbal skincare, soaps, teas, and pantry staples like jams, sauces, and all kinds of pickles. They are showing that with just a small plot of land, you can just about produce anything you need from what can be grown on that plot. But their journey hasn't been easy. In 2024, Hurricane Helene devastated their hydroponic setup, destroying most of the infrastructure and leaving them ineligible for typical disaster aid. Undeterred, they leaned on their community. They have a great following here in Hendersonville, North Carolina, of people who love their products and come out to buy them at the local farmers markets. They leaned on their community, moved operation into raised beds and solar-powered hydro systems on a friend's property in Fletcher, and are rebuilding stronger than ever. Today, we'll dive into their extraordinary resilience, how they adapted to crisis, maintained regenerative and chemical-free practices, and continue to bring nutrient-dense, hyper-local food to their community. Alongside everything from mushroom-infused lattes to skincare made right on site. So get ready for a conversation about innovation, community, and sustainable farming with two people who epitomize what it means to grow big on any scale of land. Kevin and Alicia, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is a great story here, especially what you guys have been doing to recover from that disaster. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But first of all, tell us about your backgrounds. Where did you each grow up and how did you meet?
So both of us were actually born and raised in Houston, Texas. We really kind of grew up on just the outskirts, not in the inner city, but just like the suburbs around the outer side.
Yeah.
So we are kind of familiar with each other for a long time, with schools and everything like that.
You went to school together.
Well, I was friends with his sisters, and so I met him through them, and we just kind of always ran in the same circles as we were growing up and when we were younger. As far as like career-wise, Kevin picked up the family trade, so he's a second-generation master carpenter.
Wow.
And I worked in management, accounting, as well as medical aesthetics.
Okay, fantastic. So you both had quite different careers than what you're doing now. Did you have any connection to farming before you decided to jump into this venture?
No, I didn't. We stumbled on a property when we started our farm. It was actually our father's property, and it had 2.5 acres on it. and had a lot of grass to mow, and all I had was a push mower. So I was trying to figure out ways how to get this grass mowed without me push mowing it. So that's kind of what snowballed into our farm nowadays. So I was getting goats and sheep and cows and neighbors' horses, or just whatever I can get my hands on to help me tame this grass. Because in Texas, you have to mow it 2 times a week.
Yeah. So you were motivated not to have to mow. That's great. I love that.
That was true. Yeah.
That's pretty much what got me into farming.
I'm more of like a vegetarian. I've been for most of my life. And we saw that property as an opportunity to grow food for us as well. At the time, this was like pre-COVID, and there weren't farmers markets really anywhere. And there was no way outside of the grocery store really to get produce. Like farms weren't selling it direct to customers and things like that. So building our garden, raising our own meats on that land was an opportunity for us to use our own resources as well and feed our community, or feed ourselves to start. But it did eventually turn into we had more than enough to share that we started feeding our community as well.
Yeah, that's one thing about gardening is that, you can't keep up with what the earth produces. Usually it's amazing how much you can get off of a tomato plant. You can hardly use everything, but that's great. But you first started just getting farm animals to do the mowing for you, it sounds like. And then maybe you planted a small garden somewhere and you saw.
Yeah, I planted probably like a 20-foot by 20-foot garden and had that the first year. And it went really, really well. My first year growing, I mean, I didn't run into too many issues. I was preparing for anything and doing my research and going to YouTube University nonstop and just listen to podcasts. So, I realized I had a green thumb pretty quickly.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's not helped me. I cannot grow anything.
Oh, man. I got a black thumb.
Just doing that little garden. And like you said, like getting online and being excited about like, oh, look, we're growing our own food. Realizing that so many other people weren't. And that, it kind of opened up that gateway into like food insecurities and like really sparked that passion in us with that little 20 by 20 garden.
That's great. That's great. Great start. Starts like a mustard seed, as the old saying is, mustard seed. So I see you have a North Carolina shaped emblem on your shirt. Am I right about that, Alicia? So
yes.
You started in Texas, but then you came to here in Western North Carolina. Tell us, what's the story behind that?
Yeah, our farm took off. We went public about 1.5 years after we bought our first farm and kind of got everything going. We were working full time for the first 2 years, both of us. And then we kind of deep dived just really into the farming side of it. And it became more than just gardening. We were using every inch of our 2.5 acres. It just kind of like got more and more, and we were working. Eventually it did become our full-time job, and we realized that's kind of the passion that we have. That's where our life was heading. We really like the community surrounding food, and we joined a lot of like free food movements and advocacies for the laws in Texas to allow farmers to kind of take back rights to open up avenues so they could feed their community more directly. We started farmers markets and things like that. So it really just became so much at that point. And we loved living there. We loved our home and everything that we had built. But it was hard. It was hot. There was lots of different kinds of battles there in that environment.
Yeah.
A lot more things to fight and try to eat you while you're farming.
Yeah.
So we kind of opened up our eyes, and we're thinking about the possibility of segueing into a different space and a different location. So we kind of had that in our minds.
Yeah.
What was trying to eat you?
The snakes, the fire ants, the horseflies, so many things.
Yeah.
Stinging. We had so much stinging nettle every day. Felt a little bit like a war when you go outside.
Don't quite have as much of that here, although fire ants are showing up here. We have some fire ants in our yard here now.
Don't say so.
So I don't know what's happening there, but anyway, they're not going to be as bad as Texas, I'm sure. But so, how did you settle on North Carolina? Did you look all around the country and say, or just get a dart out and throw it at the map?
No, so we were going on vacation, and I always traditionally go to the beach every time I go on vacation because my family is a bunch of beach bums. And she was like, why don't we do something different this time? Why don't we go up to the mountains or something like that? I'm like, all right. She's like, there's waterfalls. It's cooler, and maybe you'll like it. So she went to college on the East Coast of North Carolina for a while, and she would come over to this area and go rock climbing. So she knew about this area. And I knew about this area from a couple of homesteaders I followed on YouTube. They kind of really sparked my interest in regenerative farming and organic farming and kind of that whole homestead mentality, because they all moved to the north, to the WNC. So I also had another reason why I wanted to come visit the area. I heard the weather's more not
better for farming.
A lot easier to farm. There's not so many extremities, and but yeah, we came up here, got an Airbnb, stayed 4 or 5 days out here, and honestly, I was mad I was living in Houston, because I was like, why do we live in Houston? And why should we live here? It's so much nicer. The air quality is so much better. People are nicer because it's not the big city. So.
I was up here for school and just climbing and things. I left. I was only here for like 2.5 years, but I just always felt like I would come back. I was like, I'm going to end up back there somehow. Like, I'm glad it didn't take much pushing on his part. He was like, let's go sell our farm.
Did you come straight to Hendersonville? I imagine you did. What year did you come to Hendersonville?
Well, we actually, so we sold our house. And we didn't have a spot picked out yet.
We knew the area was what we wanted, but we didn't really know where. And Hendersonville in the beginning wasn't even on our radar.
Yeah. And we drove everywhere and tried to figure out where we wanted to set up shop, buy land, or figure it out. But we got an Airbnb in Hendersonville and just fell in love with the town, just meeting the locals. And I was like, I kind of like Hendersonville. So
that was it. We were like, that's our spot. This feels like home.
That's great. And so how long did it take you to find a place to start growing things again? Or tell us about that whole process.
Yeah, it was a lot. So, I mean, we looked at hundreds of properties, and it seemed like every property we were looking at was just a hill or a mountain, There's no flat land anywhere. And then if it did have some flat land, the pricing was like astronomical. So
it was kind of at the tail end of that like weird housing boom. A lot of people were relocating like post-COVID, and it was hard to find anything. We ended up leasing a space at Unseen, and it was that warehouse behind Publix. We just did an online video tour. But after driving and going everywhere and without a lot of luck, we realized that we have enough skill that we don't really need 10 acres of land, so that we can grow vertically and grow just as much food as we could grow on 4 acres. And if we can get 2,000 to 5,000 square feet of building.
Wow.
And we prefer urban farming as well, being close to our community, so that the things that we grow and the things that we make are accessible all year round, and they're right there. You can get to them instead of having to drive miles and miles out of town or wait for them to be brought in. It's fresher, it's better if we can be closer to our community.
Okay. So you switched from outdoor farming in Texas to, it sounds like, indoor farming here. So you were doing vertical farming indoor. Was it was there any natural light, or tell us about that first operation you set up and what it entailed, what kind of farming it was.
So we got hydroponic systems. It was like a 6-tier vertical system. They're about 10 feet high, and it was all artificial LED lights.
2,500 square feet.
Yeah, and it was 2,500 square feet.
Was our total grow space inside. Yeah. We did expand a little bit outside as well too.
But yeah, it was all timers and pumps and all pretty much automated. You didn't have to worry about the climate. You didn't have to worry about, any Mother Nature, obviously, besides Hurricane Helene.
Right. Yeah. Nobody was anticipating that. That was like a 1,000-year event. So
no pest control. I didn't have to, do any kind of organic sprays or anything because I didn't have any pests. I didn't have powder to do. Didn't have to worry about blight. Like there's so many after doing that style of farming. I mean, I would hate to go back to outdoor farming.
Well,
which I had to do it this year, and all these things are popping up because we're having a case of like the army worms just decimating out here this past year. But I was like, I can't wait to get my operation back inside.
And you're headed that direction. We'll get to that in a minute. But again, you must have had to go to YouTube University because this is, I mean, to make that switch from growing in the ground, open air, that's not an easy switch. It's not like, I can grow something over here. I can throw some seeds in the garden to what you're talking about. It's a whole other kind of skill.
Yeah, it's definitely more on like the chemist side of things, whereas it's when you grow outside you deal with the soil and natural microbes and everything like that. Whereas water hydroponic farming, it's a whole nother animal.
Right.
You got to learn how to keep it clean, have your water tested all the time, have to balance nutrients at different times of the plant's life, depending on what you're growing, and then having the correct water flow with the oxygen so you don't have root rot or anything like that. So it definitely was a huge learning curve. I nailed it down after 2 years. I really nailed it down. But I did pretty well. I only had one issue with aphids. I think they must have crawled in on a customer or on me from my outdoor garden that I had there. But I was able to quickly resolve it thanks to our ag extension office. Helpful hints and stuff like that and how to take care of it. So.
Right. Wow, that is quite a switch. And I'm amazed. I think the first time I saw you guys at the local farmers market and I saw the wide range of products you had, I thought for sure you were growing outside because there's such a wide range of products there.
Ever made it to our farm before we lost it, the One Pine Pellets? Did you ever go in there?
I didn't. I'm sorry, I never made it. I have a really good friend who kept saying, you got to go there, you got to go there. And I just was busy and never made it. But I saw you at the farmer's market. So anyway, well, tell us about it.
Kind of cool, like the way that it was, you would understand like what we were growing in that space. Like we had cucumbers on the ceiling, going across like string lights and the floor to ceiling. Blueberries in there, we had strawberries in there, tomatillos, like all year. It was really cool. It was really exciting. It was once we realized making that switch and all the things that we can do beyond like lettuce and spinach and kale, using hydroponics, we really got kind of crazy with it in the best way, which led to making more products.
Well, we also had an outdoor space as well.
We did.
So we probably a little over a quarter acre of outdoor space that we had a big old commercial greenhouse on it as well.
Yeah. Some things probably it's not practical to grow in a vertical farm, indoor vertical farm.
Right.
So it makes it easier. But that's I have seen other vertical farms, so I'm familiar with some of the things that can be grown there. But You know, one of my favorite products of yours is the Thai spiced Brussels sprouts, and I'm wondering, can you grow Brussels sprouts indoors?
You can. It's not as it's a lot easier in ground.
They do better in the greenhouse.
When you deal with like cabbages
Greenhouse,
or
yeah.
stuff like, or even like romaine lettuce, it'll tend to rot on the inside of the vegetable.
Right.
Times out of 10, just from the oversaturation of the water.
Okay, but Brussels sprouts can be grown hydroponically. That's just something.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, great. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Hurricane Helene. I know you probably don't want to dwell on those dark days so much, but I think to set it up for your inspiring story of overcoming it, tell us about that weekend. I remember that weekend very well. We did okay here. We had some trees down. One tree fell on my car, but didn't do that much damage to it. But tell us about what you were thinking, what you were feeling, and during those times, and what happened.
Yeah, just coming up on a year, it feels like it still wasn't that long ago, but at the same time, like it feels so long ago. That's hard to explain. We knew that area was kind of a floodplain, and we had flooded before, but very small amounts, like 1 or 2 inches. Of course, like no one could have prepared for this. I think we had 8 feet inside.
Wow.
And then, like it went up to the roof outside. So obviously our area took such a big hit. And the day before, we were kind of putting things up around 4 or 5 feet or as high as we could. And we weren't expected to flood that day. But within just a couple hours, we could see on our cameras at our farm that we were obviously flooding. And we knew that, this just was going to be kind of bad. Like that could be that.
The storm system that rolled through right before Hurricane Helene,
took us
we were already flooded.
Yeah.
And we actually had one of our vehicles down at the farm because we didn't live there. So we got in the car around like 9 p.m. We're like, we need to go get our car because if this thing hits the way they're saying, then it's going to be down Mud Creek for sure. So I'm glad that we did that.
That was before nightfall. And then by then we were already flooded. And then by like midnight, we were at like 5 feet of water. Wow. So we know. I mean, it didn't really hit us, I guess. Like we were panicked and obviously really worried. And we knew it wasn't going to be great, but it wasn't until after we saw it and how bad everything really was that we just kind of like lost it at that point. And then it was like, oh, okay, like this is really happening. This happens.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead, Teresa.
Have you recreated your store somewhere, or is that to come?
Mm-hmm.
To come. It's in progress.
That's where it's going to be behind you. Okay.
We had to block it because there's just stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
And where is that located?
It's off 7th Avenue, down over by where the Lowe's and the pawn shop, next door to the pawn shop.
Do you remember? Do you remember there was a restaurant there? It's closed now, called Two Guys Pizza.
That's our building.
That's the building they're moving.
Now that area is prone to flooding too, so you might want to watch out.
They only flooded during Hurricane Helene, and they got a couple inches.
Just a couple inches.
And the building is up a little bit.
It's high.
It rises up there. So
okay. All right. I'm just trying to look out for you.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we did going into it. We've been actually after this building
for a couple of years.
So we always saw ourselves in this building, and the owner of the place always saw us in here as well. And we're really excited for this new endeavor. I think it's going to be pivotal for our business to succeed and move forward and just be even more sustainable than we were before.
Yeah. Well, let's get into that. This move. I know that you're operating now in Fletcher, but it's not exactly what you want. So let's just talk about what's coming in this new building. You told me a little bit at the farmers market, and I think it sounds fantastic. Tell us about the building. Tell us about what you plan to do with it, and getting back to having a store for the public.
Yeah. So to touch on what you were saying about the Fletcher, a good friend of mine was gracious enough to allow us to grow the season on her property, which was super helpful in keeping us afloat through the year. With being in Fletcher and all of our customers being in Hendersonville, we realized that we couldn't do it. We had an opportunity to have a store out there, but we knew that our customers more than likely wouldn't drive out there, and it just wouldn't make sense to man the hours of having a store and all the remodeling to do it.
Right.
So we quickly realized that we needed to figure out a way how to get back to Hendersonville.
It's our home. We live here.
Yeah. You know, timing is everything. It just kind of worked out perfectly, and it's the time of the year. Because you know, the spring and summer gardens winding down, everything's transitioning to fall and winter, and so it's a perfect time for us to move everything and get set up before the next growing season next year. So yeah, I mean, in this building, we'll be able to have our farm indoor and outdoor grow. There's plenty of space all around the property to have raised beds, and there's a space that we can put a commercial greenhouse up in the back as well to provide year-round growing, which we love to do. And then adding on, we already had a market here in Hendersonville, so our customers are already aware and know what to kind of expect to see what will be in our market and how our market is. Adding the restaurant onto our business is going to be pivotal in the sense of no waste. We can grow anything, any amount now because we can incorporate it into our restaurant or into our market, and there's not going to be any waste, which is ideal for farms in general.
Yeah, that's great. And that's new, right? You didn't have a restaurant at the other place, did you?
No.
Well, it is something that is a natural progression for us. At our other place, it was tiny but mighty. We were doing a lot. We were growing more food than we grew on our, 3 acres back in Texas.
Wow.
In that warehouse and on that small piece of land. So we were really successful with it and just kind of hit that 2-year mark stride. But, not only are growing and were people coming to get our produce, but they're like, we love that you have this. How do I cook it? And so I was sending out the newsletters with the recipes that we use for that in-season produce, how to use it, how to cook it, what to do with it. Not only that, what's to come, what will we have, and, collect these ingredients when you go to the market, find these things. And just helping people along that. And then it got to the point where I was actually cooking the food for people to come in and get. And so they're like, can you just make it? And I'm like, sure. I was making the food.
That sounds really good. Let me know when to pick it up.
And, we had a commercial and a certified kitchen, but it was small. It was really small. So to do any kind of large amounts of cooking or prep was just really difficult in that space because we use most of it all for growing and canning food. So it is something that we looked at, something that we wanted to expand to. And then, with farming being kind of an unpredictable business, you have a bad season, you get an aphid outbreak in your hydroponics. There's so many things that can take you down. And when it being your sole income, you always need versatility, which is another reason that we have such a large product line, so that we always have something to take to market to keep our family funded and fed. But yeah, that diversity and having that eatery is just another extension of that, another way for us to stay afloat, but also utilize all the things that our farm is producing, and then also bring us some inspiration to grow and try new things too.
Yeah. Teresa.
Do you have help with your business? Because I'm thinking if you're doing the canning and the cooking of the food and the growing and all of these things, I can barely get 3 meals a day on the table. So I'm just trying to figure out how you're doing all these things.
We definitely hope to. So far, it's always been just the two of us. And then
Wow.
Oh, that's
we
amazing.
will have, someone pop in or out. We have a really great helper. She's just a volunteer. She likes to work with us 1 day a week, and she kind of helps us, usually prep food and things like that. But yeah, I think it's time to get some extra help once we get set up. That's on the schedule.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to if you're going to run a restaurant too.
Totally.
And that building is big enough to do hydroponic. Is it as big as the one you had before?
It's bigger.
Is it
Yeah.
bigger? Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge space.
Okay, great.
Yeah, the whole building's 4,200 square feet.
Wow. So that is almost twice. Well, not quite twice, but
Yeah.
one and a half times what you had before.
And how tall
Yeah.
are the ceilings?
The ceilings are 20 feet.
20
I
feet?
think.
Oh,
for the
okay.
peak. And
Yeah, boy, it doesn't look that tall from out. As you see, you only see the facade. So let's go through some of these products that you make and sell. I mean, when I looked at your online store, and when I've been to the market, I've just been amazed at the variety. And now I'm here, it's just the two of you and the indoor farming. I'm thinking, man, how do you produce this? But anyway, tell us about your products. What are some of your best sellers? What are some of your favorite ones?
You mentioned the Thai Brussels sprouts earlier, and that's like hands down one of my favorite things to grow and make.
It's really good.
I love the flavor, and you can just eat it right out of the jar, or you can air fry it and fancy it up. Just like a ready to go meal that's packed full of flavor. And I love to make things that are like that. And it's something that you just can't find anywhere. So I love that for us. Our skincare is really popular. Our goat milk based lotions. I worked in medical aesthetics before, so I started making these skincare products years ago when I would have clients that couldn't handle like chemical grade treatments or certain ingredients, and we had our little farm. And I was like, you know what? I can milk some goats and make some things that are skin sensitive for you. And my doctor approved them, and we used them in our business facility. And that kind of like snowballed into the line that we have. And that's always fun. And I never keep it consistent. I always change it with like, what are we growing? What herbs do we have? What flowers are available? So it's constantly rotating with every season, which is really fun. And it keeps it exciting as well.
It's interesting that I think that you got more than your fair share, because not only are you this creative, like, oh, what will I grow today? What can I mix together with your potions? But then you also said you switched from marketing and you went to accounting. So you use both sides of your brain. And I think that that's where you got more than your fair share of talents.
Thank you. I honestly believed like neither one of those things would benefit me long term until I became a small business owner. And I'm like, oh, I need all those things like now.
Right.
To lock all that in.
Yeah.
So what's in the chow chow?
Oh, yeah. So I'm Indigenous, and we always have chow chow around, and there's different styles for region. Ours is cabbage, carrots, bell peppers, yellow onions. It's zesty, like pickly, but with sweet undertones from the carrots. And it's just one of those things, like whether you're eating it by itself or you're topping, beans or rice or dogs or sausages with it, it just adds so much flavor. It's just packed full of like goodness. You can taste it.
What does that mean, lacto fermented?
Yeah, lacto ferment is a process using a water and salt brine, and it just lets the compounds of the ingredients break down to create a natural ferment. That creates probiotics, so biotics that will help your body digest better and fight off like bad bacterias. And doing a lacto fermented process, actually, when you ingest it, it amplifies that in your digestive system.
Interesting.
Is there sugar added to it, or is it just the vegetables?
Depends on the ferment. Like a chow chow, if I lacto ferment it, it does not. But if we do other type of ferments, like let's say we do kombucha or something, we use sugar as a base because that's what the bacteria that creates that probiotic and eat sugar. So you have to do like small amounts, but you're not really ingesting it at the end. The probiotics eat that up, and that's what they use to grow and replicate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fascinating.
Do you grow the blackberries too, or are you acquiring them somewhere else?
We get them locally. We actually farm. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's we did on our farm in Texas, but it's one of those things we didn't have space to do like blackberries.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
You said you were growing blueberries indoors, right?
Yeah, so we were growing a special variety of blueberry called a Wonderberry. And instead of like these larger bushes, they kind of seemed palm size, like about the size of strawberries.
Wow.
We did some testing. We grew hydroponic strawberries 1 year for our farm tour, but we had those both indoor and outdoors.
Yeah. But you can't grow blackberries. You can't grow blackberries indoors, it sounds like.
That's not ideal.
No.
Yeah. Got it.
Well, with the systems I had, because I was dealing with the vertical spacing, it wouldn't be enough to have a whole blueberry bush.
Yeah.
And I could probably do like a cracky method and like a tote and get away with it with some LED lights, but
Not ideal.
Yeah.
nowadays they make all these different hybrids that are dwarf, and they're just super cool. What you can do, like with some of these heirloom companies, you can get dwarf tomato plants and dwarf okra plants that don't get any taller than like 2 feet, which are really fun to grow indoors.
Perfect for our type of growing, yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, tell us some more about your product. I love the cherry fire pickles as well. Is that the right name? Cherry fire pickles? Those are great.
Yes.
Man, those are so good. Tell us more about some of the other products you make. You have some great salsas too. I'll keep going. Maybe I should just tell everybody about it.
Yeah, all of my recipes are my own. So everything kind of comes to fruition from scratch from what we were growing. And over the past, almost 10 years, we've been doing this, kind of taking those flavors, building them. We've always been really flavor driven people, which is another reason we're so excited to have an eatery to share that outside of just our canned goods. But, we really just kind of are conscious about the things that we're growing and how we can put those flavors together to maybe make a staple that your grandmother would have made, but change that flavor and amplify it. So like you said, I've got several varieties of pickles, and we don't really produce too much outside of that scope because we feel really strongly on the flavors that we have. We've got our super spicy ones, our Snapdragon, which is an Asian style softer pickle with like a big punch. And
I'll have to try those. I miss those. I'll have to try those.
If you like hots.
I do. You have some more traditional, like bread and butter. Do you do dill? I didn't see a dill pickle from you, but I'm sure you do.
Probably sold out.
Yeah. So our dills and our bread and butter are obviously the most sought after because that's what everyone knows, and kids love them. So they're always on the front of our table. And
do you grow your own dill and other herbs? And
we grow dill. So like in our pickles and everything, our refrigerator pickles that aren't shelf stable are the ones that have the herbs and the dill in it.
Okay.
Others are mustard.
Others are vinegar based, mustard based. It's my favorite type of pickle, honestly. The sour pickles with the vinegar. A lot of people like the other one. Different people, different taste buds.
Yeah.
But
I like them all.
I know. Like, give me all of them, all the flavor.
All right. Well, we talked about all these products, and my mouth is salivating. I'm sure some of our listeners' mouths are salivating too. Can they find you online? I mean, a lot of our listeners are spread across the country. You even have people internationally. Can they order from you online, or do they have to come to Hendersonville Farmers Market to get your products?
They can absolutely order online. We ship all around the United States already. We even shipped to Alaska before. You can go to www.stumpfarms with an S on the end .com.
Okay, stumpfarms.com. Got it. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and
all of our products are on there. It has different categories for our skincare, to our produce, or for our canned goods and our teas and everything like that. So you'll be able to find everything pretty easily. My wife, she did the website and did a good job. So
yeah, it's a great website.
You people are so talented.
Unbelievable, right?
My
So you've been together like you've known each other your whole lives. But you've been married for 10?
We've been together for 11 years and married for 8 years.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Any children?
Yeah. We have one together. She's 9 years old, and then we have she has 2 from her past marriage, which are my children as well, obviously, and they're 21 and 24. So we actually have older kids and then we have young kids.
Alicia, you don't look like you're old enough to have it.
I know, right? I was going to say that. Like, good Lord.
All that healthy eating and skincare.
But then also, like, I was just wondering, like, how in the world are you, like, doing all this stuff, tending to kids, like, forget, like, you know, all the stuff. You got to cook this, you got to harvest it, everything that goes in with the produce, but you haven't, like, cleaned the first floor, done a load of laundry. You haven't done, you know, like, that's not even in our conversation.
Yeah, that's
we're not always good at that stuff.
Oh, we found something they're not good at. Good job, Cynthia.
A
lot of out of sight, out of mind.
You can always put the kids to work, you know, that helps. That's what our parents did.
They're well trained and helpful, and even like our older ones, they love what we do, and I feel like they're always really proud. And when they come home to visit us, you know, they have no problem like working the markets with us on Saturdays. So if they're around, you'll definitely see them there. You know, they love what we do, and they understand what it takes for us to do that and what it takes to get that food to their plate. So them picking up after themselves, doing laundry, or just handling things, I think it's made them feel more responsible for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing like that growing up in a business and family business and really understanding how things work. So that's great for them. I think that's fantastic. Now, you said you wanted, Fletcher was great. You were happy to have this opportunity. Your friends helped you out. And but it was a little too far from the people that were your core customers here. So from what I've been told by other people who know you and love your products, there is a real community spirit behind what you're doing. Can you tell us about some examples of that, of instances, especially after going through the storm, maybe people helping you or coming together to help you? Tell us about that side of things in the business here.
I think just about, you know, us even being here and talking to you today, like, and being able to take on this venture is all due to our community backing us, not just, you know, well wishes and thoughts, but financially. You know, when we lost everything, we pretty much just had our cars. We had a lot of personal things stored at our farm, and you know, and then what did survive, I don't know if you know this, but we were robbed a couple times afterwards. So not only did anything that survived, you know, barely, we got out, but then we ended up losing everything anyway. It's kind of all taken away, which made a really big conscious struggle for us where, you know, we had probably that time between October and April where we didn't know if we were going to stay here because we just didn't have anything anymore. We didn't own anything. We didn't have a way to make anything, to sell anything, to grow anything. You know, it was kind of like, what do we even do? Literally starting from scratch with less than what we came here with or what we started with. You know, no extra jobs to fall back on. This has been our main source of income and our full-time career. But our community, they helped us. They bought the tables at our farmers market so that we could set that up. Our friend lent us a property. People just came together in every way. They saw us out there cleaning or crying and just stopped and brought us food and clothes and tents so that we would have a way to work safely and covered and use that for the farmers market. Everyone just rallied around us in a way that like we couldn't even anticipated. And I mean, we really have everything that we have to thank not just the people of Hendersonville, but our community back in Texas. Our neighbors there stood up to the plate to make sure we could keep going. And, they wouldn't let us quit.
Oh, that's
which was
great.
And so heartwarming that, people feel strongly about what we do. And it's good to know that like we have that impact and that people see and feel like what we're offering.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lovely, beautiful story.
That is wonderful that the devastation that was, that area was subjected to. It's so nice to hear about the humanity and the support of your communities, home and local.
Yeah. There's a lot of great stories like that. And we're so glad you're one of them.
Yes.
And that you're back and that it sounds like you're going to be stronger than ever and producing more than ever in a place that it sounds to me like I never went to the other place, but it sounds like it could be better.
You're coming to this one, right?
I will be there, sure. As soon as you're open, tell us when. I think Kevin, tell us when you think you'll be opening there.
We're shooting for the end of October, beginning of November.
Okay.
For our opening date.
Great. So that's when you open to the public, or is that when you get started farming again?
That's when we open to the public. The farming, I'm going to continue farming on that property until the end of, until it burns. Until
the property in Fletcher, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm already set up over there and it just doesn't
Right.
make any. I have enough hydroponic systems and stuff to start setting things up here to kind of get the hydroponics transitioned here. But as far as like the outdoor grow and stuff like that, I'm just going to use that property because it's already set up and it's done.
Yeah.
And then worry about that in the colder, in January and February when everything kind of dies down and gets too cold to do anything. So I'll do all my outdoor work then.
Right.
I have a question. It's a two-part question. Do you use aloe in any of your skincare products?
I do.
Are you able to grow aloe in Hendersonville?
We haven't grown our own, no. We can. We haven't, just for space reasons. We try to focus more on food. In Texas, aloe was alive and thriving. We grew a lot of aloe.
That's a better
but it is something that takes up a lot of space. We really want to focus on making room for food and food items. So there are things that we outsource, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up another question. Can you eat aloe?
Ooh.
I heard someone.
I think you can.
I think that you can.
too.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot about it, but
No.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
You're muted, Cynthia. I know you wanted to say something, but you were muted.
I know I'm getting some vanilla bean, blackberry jam, blueberry jam, pasta sauce, and the garden, how would you say like
Giardiniera.
the relish?
Yeah, it's Italian for garden.
How do you say it?
It's giardiniera.
Okay.
Yeah, Italian for garden, and basically it's just like a collective of garden foods that are in like a vinegary brine, and then we use our Italian seasonings with a dash of olive oil to kind of season it up and then add some extra flavor. It's fun. It's kind of like a chow chow in a way, but like a different version of that.
Yeah.
Well, the chow chow seemed like it might be a little spicier.
It's not.
It's not. Okay,
No.
so are both of them equal in like I don't like spicy. So either
It's
one
not
of those?
spicy.
Okay.
She's placing an order
Yeah, we
right
don't
now. Sorry, Kevin, I interrupted you.
Yeah.
Say that again.
I was saying that in Texas, a lot of our products were spicier.
Yeah,
So we
they
had
like it
kind of
spicy.
knocked that down a little bit when we moved up here. We realized look here for too
Don't
much.
for
Yeah.
me. In fact, I think I showed you a recipe that I make for the Thai cucumber dipping sauce. Remember at the
Yum.
farmer's market? I showed you. I said, "Oh, you should start making that." And then I looked on your website. I think you already have that.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the same ingredients, but it looked
It's not
like
the same, but the one you sent me looked really, really good.
it's very simple, the one I have, but it's really spicy because you use those Thai chili peppers, cucumbers, cilantro,
Mm-hmm.
and you have vinegar and a little bit of sugar, and that's what they dip the satay in Thai restaurants. And oh man, I love that stuff. So I make my own, but I gotta try your Thai thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. It's traditionally thin, so you can absorb into like meat or vegetables or whatever you're.
Oh,
You can also put like a little olive oil in it and use that as like a drizzle.
oh, cool.
Salad or something like that. So it's
Right.
pretty universal.
Okay. I think Cynthia's placing a big order.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Kevin, like, so if you don't have anything else to do today, my stuff could be boxed up and shipped out in your spare time.
I got you.
Get one of the kids to do it. All right, we're going to let you go, but we got to keep you for just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to let you go so you can get back to the hard work. We have a ritual here on the Produce Buzzers podcast that I didn't tell Kevin about because I was afraid if I told him he wouldn't come on. But we make our guests go through this ritual, and I hate to say it's painful. It's very painful. So here's the deal. Teresa loves puns. And every episode she brings a pun to punish our guests and listeners with. And they're always bad. They're so bad they're painful. So how it works is the puns are usually in a form of a question. And she'll ask the question, and we try to guess what's the punny answer to this question. And we don't usually get them right. Rick's pretty good. Cynthia's pretty good. I almost never get them. But it's a lot of fun. We like to have fun with it. So, Teresa, we call this segment Home Grown. So, Teresa, what's our home grown of the day?
Well, you see, there was this big gathering of fruit, and it was going on. There were like blackberries, blueberries, pineapple, all kinds of fruits showed up. And all of a sudden, the blackberry looked over, and here's a jalapeno. And he looks at the jalapeno and said, "What are you doing here?" What do you think the jalapeno said?
Okay, so this is a fruit party. Bunch of fruits at a party. I've been to a few of those. And there's a blackberry, there's a raspberry, or a blueberry, I heard, pineapple, maybe some others. But suddenly a jalapeno shows up.
He wanted to spice it up.
Who asked him what he's doing here? Was it the blackberry?
Blackberry.
The blackberry asked him, "So what are you doing here?" Okay. All right.
He wanted to spice up he wanted to
spice up the party.
add some fire to the party.
I don't think that's not bad enough.
He wanted to heat up the party.
Oh, there you go. That's good.
You wanted to watch the party?
He what?
You wanted to heat up the party. What do you
Yeah.
think? What do you think, Rick? What's your answer?
Well, this is not even funny at all, but my first thought was because I'm a fruit also.
Oh, well.
That's technically
Nice.
true. Technically
Nicely
true.
done. Yeah.
Okay, Alicia's got an answer, I think. She's got it.
My instinct was the same, like here to spice up the party.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
good.
it could
That's
have
good.
been. Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
not the
that's-
answer I had. So,
Yeah.
Edwin, did you have any?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
Let's get to the
So-
pain. Come on.
So So when the blackberry asked the jalapeno what he was doing there, the jalapeno said, well, I heard there was this big jam thing going on. So I showed up, but there was no music. And frankly, I'm stumped.
That's good. So on topic.
Nice.
Yeah.
I bet you've never heard a joke about being stumped in your life.
Yeah, it was actually my fantasy football team's name.
I said that again. I missed that, Kevin. What did you say?
I just joined a fantasy football league, and that's the name of my fantasy football.
Stumped.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Great.
cool.
Our two names together would make a great law firm. Step and Stump.
Yeah, it does sound like a law firm.
You can see that billboard.
Or a landscaping company.
Yeah,
Stump
they
and
got
step.
that. Yeah,
Or it could be
landscaping
like Stump and Step.
company. Step
We
on the
ask that all
stump.
the time. They're like, "Why did you choose Stump as your farm?" Like, and we're like, "It's our name. It's our name."
Yeah, I would have been like, what an awful name for a farm. Why is that my last name?
We do get that sometimes. We're like, "It's just our last name. Calm down."
We've had people roll up with a truck full of
It's
stumps.
tree stump.
They thought we were stump grinders.
Is that true? Or are you joking about that? Really?
I would say like once every 3 months, especially when we were at our Jonesboro address, we could hear like the types of trucks rumbling in. We're like, no, like they try to start unloading like stumps, and we're like, no, that's not what we do. That's just our name.
That's amazing. After Halloween, you must have
You
had
mean
a
they
lot
were
of-
serious about that?
Yes.
Got a whole truck full of
Truck
stumps.
fulls of stumps.
I'm like, you're not dump that out there. You do not want to get
Maybe you should grow mushrooms on stumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Pass it off as because we grow our mushrooms on stumps.
Yeah. We like growing them in the bags. It's just a lot easier than logs or anything like that. It's more guaranteed.
Yeah.
Cleaner
But I do
operation.
like to guerrilla inoculate. So if I see a good stump in the vicinity that I have access to, I will inoculate that stump.
Okay.
Shiitake mostly, or what other? Yeah.
Maitake, turkey tail, things I use. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Do you grow lion's mane mushrooms?
Do we ever?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Good. That's good to know.
Yeah. Teresa likes that.
So right now, if we wanted to come and just buy the product directly from you, we'd go to the farmer's market. Is that it?
Right now, that's our only outlet until our store opens.
Oh, we're in the Custa Market in
For
Cafe.
produce.
Oh, the produce.
Oh, right. You remember the going there, Teresa? We went.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Acoustic Market and Bona Bottle on Main Street carry some of our canned products. Acoustic carries some skincare as well, but they're kind of limited. But yeah, right now the farmers market for produce is the best resource. We don't have anyone purchasing that at the moment. But then of course, when our store opens on 7th, we'll have longer hours, and we're year round. So that's one thing that's a little bit different about us farming as well. A lot of farmers don't farm in the winter here, but we do. We actually see it as like our time to shine, if you will. So yeah, you'll be able to just come get it right here on site.
Great. Fantastic. This has been a lot of fun. I knew it was going to be very entertaining and informative, but I was really blown away by how much more I learned about you. So thanks for taking the time. It's been really good.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
So nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you too. We're really proud to have you in our community.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you all soon here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll come by for sure.
For sure.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, thank you, listeners, for tuning in to the Produce Buzzers podcast, brought to you by Produce Buzz, the gathering place for lovers of fresh fruits and veggies. We hope you were entertained a bit and educated a lot about fresh produce. Be sure to join us next time, and please tell your friends to do so as well. Like, share, and comment on our Produce Buzz Facebook page, and check out our website at www.producebuzz.com. There you will find articles about fresh fruits and veggies, how to select, store, and prepare them, as well as lots of interesting facts about all the wonderful bounty the earth provides for us. Until next time, be fruitful and don't forget to veg out.